To catch an escaped convict, Inspector Willoughby set out on his electric scooter. He unscrewed a bolt from the convict's tank. The next second, the entire tank fell apart into a pile of junk. But once the convict noticed how short the inspector was, he scooped him up and stuffed him into a bucket. To his surprise, the inspector was already wearing a diving suit. Then he pulled out a water gun and marched the convict straight back to prison. The convict wasn't ready to give up. In his eyes, anything could be turned into a tool for escape. But the inspector had already anticipated that. He swapped everything in the prison with fakes to keep him from breaking out again. The inspector locked him inside a cell. The convict tried to crawl out through the skylight vent, but the inspector had prepared for that too. He dropped a heavy iron ball straight down, knocking him back inside. Just then, the sound of an engine roared outside. Thinking it was his chance, the convict smashed through a window and dove headfirst into a pile of dirty laundry. But instead of a getaway ride, it turned out to be the prison laundry truck. The next second, he was scalded and shot high into the air. Then the inspector chained an iron ball to his leg. Amazingly, the convict lifted the iron ball and hurled it away. It dragged him right out of prison. But before he could even celebrate, the inspector pulled out a giant magnet. Once again, the convict was reeled back in. Now furious, the convict bit through the chain on his ankle. He whipped the chain at the inspector, knocking down his plane. Then he tossed the inspector into a trash can and smashed the can flat with a hammer. When he lifted the lid, the inspector was gone. All he found was a box of chocolates. The convict couldn't resist eating them, but after seeing the label on the box, he exploded the next second. He grabbed a wooden plank, ready to smash the prison gate open. But at that moment, the inspector calmly opened the gate himself. The convict froze. It turned out today was his official release day. Yet now, he didn't even want to leave, because he had fallen in love with the thrill of breaking out. So he immediately started plotting how to get thrown back in.